You're 29 and it's a week before your birthday. You feel like you're in a good place in life and you don't have any regrets. And then you see this. And now you're mad. No, you're not mad. You're just disappointed. No, you're mad. You're really mad. So you start Googling it. What is the dang 30 under 30 anyway? How do people even get nominated? Who judges this thing? And what's the point of it all? Just to make you jealous? Because it's working. Well, believe it or not, the purpose of the Forbes 30 under 30 is not just to make you jealous. Really, it is not about you. But it's not really about these people either. How the Forbes 30 under 30 works is that it's actually a marketing growth engine put on by Forbes to capitalize on the wealth, status, privilege, influence, celebrity, and self-interest of these people to promote these people. And it's absolutely genius because it works. And you can create your own version to capitalize on their system the exact same way. So in this video, we're gonna tell you everything you ever wanted to know about the Forbes 30 under 30, including how you could replicate the 30 under 30 with a 5-step framework, how the Forbes Under 30 grew into Forbes' top revenue generator and brings the outlet 6 million extra visitors per year, conclusions that we drew from all 6,000 of the US honorees, including how the acceptance rate compares to Stanford and Harvard, and how the richest under 30 is worth 26 billion and the youngest ever nominated is only 14, and the origins of the 30 under 30, and why this all led to Forbes 30 under 30 in the first place. Speaking of that, the history of the Forbes 30 under 30 actually begins with the Fortune 40 under 40. From 1999 to 2003, Fortune created the 40 under 40 list as a purely numeric ranking of wealth to capture the value creation of the first dot-com boom. Fortune brought back the list in 2009 to use it as a more subjective ranking of power and influence. And at the time, it included the founders of Google, Mark Zuckerberg, Tiger Woods, and plenty of other tech execs and celebrities. Now, why did they do this in 2009? One reason could be the rise of its competitor, Business Insider, which was founded in 2007 as a purely digital aggregator of business news and industry verticals focused on millennials, the 18 to 34 demographic. Facebook was also on its meteoric rise, and so legacy business media companies like Fortune or Forbes needed some way to keep up. Forbes launched its 30 under 30 2 years later. Forbes editor Randall Lane created it as a way to chronicle a cultural shift in the mainstream perception of youth and ambition. He said at the time, this was a list that was perfect for its time, in that it's the first time that being young is actually an advantage for most fields. Forbes was known for its annual list of billionaires and all sorts of other lists, but the 30 under 30 slowly expanded in both readership and editorial priority to become the company's most influential brand. In particular, it grew the publication's readership beyond its aging core print audience to a younger, more diverse, and more online cohort of millennials. One could say it worked, and that one would be Randall Lane, because he was eventually promoted to the company's content chief. Now, according to ComScore data, Forbes still lagged behind Business Insider when it came to unique visitors between the age of 18 to 34 in 2015. The Business Insider CEO and editor-in-chief, Henry Blodgett, had been aggressively expanding Insider to attract even more millennial readers, and most of the company had recently been acquired by Axel Springer. To keep up, Forbes increasingly leveraged its 30 under 30 franchise, and today it's become the company's flagship product. And we'll get into how all of that benefited Forbes financially in a minute. But first, what is the 30 under 30 anyway? The 30 under 30 assesses the 30 most up-and-coming talent in the US under the age of 30, first judging across 12 distinct categories like media, tech, and law. Some of the original names on the first list included Mark Zuckerberg, Instagram founder Kevin Systrom, Spotify CEO Daniel Ek, Reddit co-founder Alexis Ohanian, Dropbox CEO Drew Houston, the Asana co-founders, founders of Pinterest, Tumblr, and Quora, and even up-and-coming actors at the time like Donald Glover and Jonah Hill. And then there's this guy, Nicholas Allegra, an internet apple. Okay, so he might have been a famous hacker called Comex who jailbroke the first iPhone, but still, it's nice to know that you can be an intern at Apple and equivalent to Mark Zuckerberg. This list was eventually expanded to recognize a total of 600 people per year, with 30 individuals selected across 20 different industries. After running the 30 Under 30 program for 10 years, Forbes has said there have been over 100,000 nominees, with 20,000 nominations per year in the US alone. With 600 spots available per year, there's about 30 applications for every spot, equivalent to a 2 to 3% acceptance rate. Forbes itself says it's harder to get onto the under 30 list than it is to get into Stanford or Harvard. So what do all of the Forbes 30 Under 30 winners have in common? Like, what makes them so special? For starters, 84% are single. At least they were back in 2016. Not everyone on the list is a celebrity or millionaire, but selected honorees usually have a couple of genuine achievements under their belt. This could be other awards, starting a company that's raised some money, or some other level of industry recognition or status. It's more of a list of potential rather than a list of solidified achievements. It could be startup founders you've never heard of, new musicians that release maybe their first album, or many in niche categories like marketing, science, or energy that are unknown to the general public. Some are even still in school. However, everyone is Googleable to some degree and have strong social media presence. And of the celebrities that do make the list, many are nominated by their PR reps. Forbes actually released some interesting information about their 2022 list of US honorees. The honorees have collectively raised over $1 billion in funding. Nearly 50% identify as a person of color, with 61% male and 38% female, which is actually a little bit less than their peak of 2021. And 24% immigrants from 58 different countries as wide as Albania to the Bahamas to even Syria. The top cities where honorees live include New York, Los Angeles, San Francisco, which has actually fallen, Boston, and Miami, which has actually risen, probably because people are moving from San Francisco to Miami. Interestingly, only 14% of this year's list is Gen Z, or 24 years or younger, but that demographic is only going to get bigger as millennials age out of their 20s. If you want to feel slightly better about yourself, this group also has $10 million in student debt, which they haven't even halfway paid off yet. Take that. The youngest ever winner is Jalen Hall, who is only 14 years old. I mean, what am I doing with my life? As of 2015, though, Forbes made a rule that no nominee could be included on the list more than once. While Forbes reporters have said off the record this has made picking nominees harder, it does open the playing field to a lot more potential candidates, which is good news for you if you still want to apply, and good news for Forbes. Here's why. So Forbes has three kinds of revenue. It has advertising, it has subscriptions, and it has brand extensions, like conferences and brand licensing deals. 30 Under 30 has become such a hit for the company because it's a growth engine for all three. The company expects its subscription revenue to actually decelerate over the next few years, but its brand extensions and advertising revenue are supposed to accelerate. And that's because of the 30 Under 30 brand, which has become the magazine's top revenue generator. The company has only 23,000 paid subscribers, but its Under 30 brand reaches 26 million 13 to 34-year-olds. Forbes gradually transformed the Under 30 brand from an end-of-the-year list that was published in December and January to a years-long campaign with digital media content and live events. This created not only a years-long marketing growth engine, but a cross-platform ad campaign that rivals any of their other sponsorship deals. Advertisers who sign up for the 30 Under 30 do so to reach young audiences, whose finances will grow as they age, so they sign multi-year franchise campaigns. The Whiskey Macallan sponsored the 30 Under 30 for 7 years in a row. Rocket Mortgage signed a 3-year deal, and Forbes has relatively new deals with Microsoft Surface and Cole Haan Shoes. The only reason those two companies signed deals with Forbes was to reach the Under 30 audience. The key selling point to the advertisers is the 30 Under 30 community, which includes over 10,000 entrepreneurs and celebrities who join the community, promote, and amplify the brand year after year. Critically, they are nearly all still under the age of 40. By sponsoring Under 30, advertisers tap into the social following and clout of these honorees and their audiences whenever the honorees promote this list. More on this in a minute. To capitalize on this community, Forbes has the Under 30 Summit, a 4-day festival that can draw over 10,000 attendees with ticket prices as high as $9,900 for non-nominees. These festivals bring in an entirely new source of revenue, and because Forbes licenses its magazines and Under 30 brand in multiple countries, each country can host its own summit and pay Forbes a cut of the revenues. This works similar to the Michelin Guide, the origin of the Michelin star restaurant. The two Michelin tire brothers created the guide in 1900 to promote demand for automobiles, to sell more tires. It listed the top restaurants, hotels, mechanics, and gas stations along popular routes in France to incentivize people to buy cars and travel more, which sells more tires, and then they gave it away for free. But after they scaled its reach and reputation, the brothers took out the ads and used their own star rating system to highlight only the best restaurants. Then they started charging readers to buy the guide to promote both the exclusivity of the guide and their rating system, which made both appear more scarce and therefore more valuable. The 30 Under 30 is also distributed online for free to promote Forbes and its advertisers, but access to the community is kept exclusive. So both brands and wannabe honorees desire the value of the access and have to pay, either through sponsorship or ticket prices, to get in. Besides revenue, the brand equity gain is huge. All the hype and anticipation, all the curiosity around the winners, all the hate watching and the FOMO, all drive traffic to Forbes. The nomination period alone has the potential to bring the name of Forbes to millions more visitors per year. Just take the 20,000 annual nominees in the US and assume they'll send the nomination link to at least 5 to 10 of their friends or colleagues to nominate them. That's 1 to 2 million extra people who have visited Forbes' website over the last 10 years, just from the US list. And check out the company's overall traffic growth over the past 6 years. Those spikes occur right around the time the 30 list is published. And there's over 30 countries and regions that all have their own list, which extends this to another 6 million extra people per year just from the nominees. That's not even people who apply and don't get in. So how can other companies replicate the 30 Under 30? Here's a 5-step framework based on our research that we put together. Number 1, build a target audience representative of your ideal customer persona, but who themselves also have clout with and influence over the rest of the customer persona. This could be the top 1%, which we could call the ideal influencer persona. Think about how the 30 Under 30 targets the most affluent, driven, and accomplished or up-and-coming members of the 18 to 34 demo across 20 different industries. These honorees either have influence over their peers because of their current level of success or want to appear more successful and will therefore promote the prestige of the 30 Under 30 to make themselves look more attractive for investment opportunities, business deals, or even dating. If your honorees similarly have legitimate influence over their peers, you can market their involvement in your own contest to advertisers who also want to tap into that influence. These ideal influencer personas could even be actual influencers, letting event sponsors gain access to their audiences indirectly, like influencer marketing arbitrage. Number 2, attract these influencers with a prize they truly value. Think of what your company can provide to the top of your ideal customer persona's industry that would get them legitimately excited to get involved with your contest. Forbes used its name brand to market honorees on the front page of a business magazine that usually features billionaires and top business leaders. You may not have the equivalent platform. Perhaps you could offer something else of value, such as access to new deal flow, investors, or even customers. This would be equivalent to a conference or a summit event where access is exclusive, but the networking flows like the free booze. Number 3, your competition must have a viral growth engine built into it. Winning the Under 30 or even a Michelin star gives the perception of status. The opportunity to gain status encourages more people to submit. The more people that submit, the more they promote it to others. And then the more they promote it to everyone, the more they promote Forbes or Michelin or, in your case, your company. Number 4, build a community around your awards that can be scaled. Ken Hertz, the COO at the Lenfest Institute, said that for business publications looking to monetize a segment of their audience, like Forbes did with young entrepreneurs, they have to make sure that it's not only an attractive enough community that will draw in readership from an editorial perspective, but will also appeal to advertisers in a way that will keep the franchise alive. That enough scale that he's talking about keeps advertisers and nominees coming back year after year. The 30 under 30 produces hundreds of honorees per year, instead of limiting it to just 30 total as the name implies. It's good branding, but it's actually just a trick. Number 5, tailor your content marketing strategy around exclusivity. Both the 30 under 30 and the Michelin Guide are content marketing initiatives built around exclusivity. Instead of churning out content endlessly into a vacuum, think of your content marketing efforts like a limited sneaker drop. Focus on quality marketing efforts like the 30 under 30 campaign to maximize for engagement. Supporting content should only support and build hype for the exclusive content, like the under 30s video interview series and full year digital campaign. And that's it. That's all Forbes really does to create all that momentum in traffic and revenue. So you don't have to feel all that bad turning 30 without winning the 30 under 30, because you could just use this framework and then you could launch your own, say the 31 under 31. And if that doesn't work, hey, there's always the 40 under 40. Thanks for watching.